Welcome back to Everyday English Caught, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And looking at some of the predictions and some of the ways that people are thinking AI could change our world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, AI is everywhere these days, right? And it's only going to get more integrated into our lives, I think.
Right. It's impacting everything from how things are made in factories to the tools we use every day in the workplace.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are some of the big changes you're seeing in these different industries like manufacturing?
Well, in manufacturing, one of the biggest things is the increase in efficiency, speed, accuracy, and safety.
Okay.
By using AI and robots to do things like assembly and quality control,
Right, because it seems like, robots are able to do a lot of the tasks that are, maybe dangerous for humans or really repetitive.
Exactly. Yeah, they can just keep going and going and going.
Right.
And so that's one of the biggest changes that we're seeing.
So it's not just robots replacing jobs. It's more like robots doing certain things.
Right.
And that frees up humans to kind of take on new roles and work with the robots.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually, something I wanted to mention is that AI can actually complement human workers by handling those, like you said, repetitive tasks, allowing companies to scale up their operations, and focus on other areas where human creativity and problem-solving skills are essential.
Okay. So it's almost like a partnership in a way.
Exactly.
Humans and robots working together to do the work better.
And another thing that's really interesting is that AI can actually learn from data.
Okay.
And predict problems, saving companies time and money down the line.
So they can kind of see oh, this machine's going to break before it breaks and fix it.
Exactly. Yeah. And prevent those costly downtime situations.
Okay. Now I get asked the question that I know everyone's thinking when we talk about robots and jobs.
Yeah.
Does this mean people are going to be out of work? Are robots going to take all the jobs?
Well, that's a concern that a lot of people have, and it's definitely a valid one, right? But while some jobs might be displaced by automation, I think it's important to remember that new jobs will also be created, in areas like AI development and maintenance and management. So it's more about a shift in the job market rather than a complete elimination of jobs.
So people who can learn how to work with robots and AI and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Upskilling and retraining will be crucial for workers to adapt to this changing landscape.
Okay. Now let's talk about another really important area that's being impacted by AI.
Okay.
And that is healthcare. And one of the things we're seeing is AI actually being used to help doctors diagnose diseases.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a really exciting area because AI can analyze medical images like X-rays and MRIs much faster and more accurately than the human eye in many cases.
Wow.
And this can lead to earlier and more accurate diagnosis, which of course can significantly improve patient outcomes,
So it's like AI isn't replacing doctors, but it's like giving them another tool to...
Exactly. Yeah, it's a tool that can augment their abilities and help them make more informed decisions.
Okay. And I've also heard about AI being used to speed up drug discovery.
Yeah.
How does that work?
So AI can analyze vast amounts of data to identify potential drug candidates and predict their effectiveness and safety. And this can significantly reduce the time and cost of developing new drugs.
And even find treatments for things that we don't currently have treatments for.
Exactly. Yeah. AI has the potential to unlock new treatments for diseases that were previously considered incurable,
Wow. So that's incredible. So we've got AI changing how things are made, AI changing healthcare. What about education? I've read about AI being used to kind of personalize the learning experience.
Yeah, this is a really interesting area because, AI can tailor lessons to each student's individual needs and learning styles. AI can track a student's progress and adapt the lessons in real time based on their performance.
Oh, wow. So if you're struggling with a concept, it'll kind of slow down and...
Exactly. Yeah, it can provide additional support and practice in areas where the student is struggling.
And if you get it, it can kind of move you along faster.
Exactly. Yeah. And it can also provide more challenging material for students who are excelling,
Wow.
So it's really about creating a more personalized and effective learning experience for every student.
Okay. So does this mean teachers are going to be out of a job? Are robots going to be teaching our kids?
Well, I don't think AI will ever fully replace teachers. The human element of teaching, that mentorship and guidance and inspiration that teachers provide,
Right.
that's irreplaceable.
Okay.
But AI can definitely support teachers,
Okay.
by automating tasks like grading and lesson planning, and also by identifying students who might need extra help.
Okay, so it's like giving teachers more tools to do their job better.
Exactly.
And spend more time with students one-on-one.
Mm.
Now, I've also heard about AI being used in language learning.
Yeah.
Like, are there AI tools that can help people learn new languages?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's things like speech recognition software that can provide real-time feedback on pronunciation and grammar.
Wow.
And AI-powered language learning app that can create personalized lessons based on the user's level and learning style.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
we've talked about manufacturing healthcare education. What about the workplace? Like, how is AI changing the way we work?
Well, AI is definitely streamlining a lot of workplace operations. Things like scheduling assistants can automatically set up meetings and send reminders.
Right.
And project management tools can help teams collaborate more effectively.
Okay.
And AI is also improving productivity and decision-making by providing employees with accurate data, insights, and analysis.
So it can help us, like, make decisions faster and more effectively?
Exactly. Yeah. AI can analyze huge data sets and identify trends and patterns that humans might miss.
Okay.
And this can help businesses make more informed decisions about everything from product development to marketing strategies.
So it's not just making us more efficient, it's making us smarter in how we do our jobs.
Exactly.
Okay. And I've also heard about AI being able to automate those tedious tasks that no one wants to do.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Things like data entry and invoice processing. AI can handle a lot of that,
Right.
freeing up employees to focus on more creative and strategic work.
So it's making work more enjoyable for people
Yeah,
by taking away the stuff that is really boring.
Exactly.
And AI can also help businesses understand, like, market trends and
Yeah.
what's going on in the world.
Yeah, AI can analyze market data and predict future trends,
Okay.
which can help businesses stay ahead of the curve and make more informed decisions about their products and services.
So it's like giving them a crystal ball to kind of see what's going to happen in the future.
In a way, yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk about the future of AI.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, are we all going to be replaced by robots?
Yeah.
Is this the end of humanity?
Well, I don't think we're quite there yet.
Okay.
AI is still in its early stages of development, and while it's made incredible progress,
Right.
we're still a long way from fully autonomous systems that can operate without human input.
Right.
AI still struggles with things like understanding context and emotions,
Right.
which are essential for many human tasks.
Okay.
So I think for the foreseeable future, AI will continue to augment human abilities
Okay.
rather than completely replacing us.
Okay, so we still have a role to play in this world, even with all this AI going on.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, I've heard about some really interesting areas where AI is being used, like space exploration.
Yeah, AI is playing an increasingly important role in space exploration.
Okay.
It's being used to analyze data from telescopes and spacecraft,
Okay.
and to control autonomous robots that are exploring other planets.
Wow, so it's like AI is helping us explore the universe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And what about in creative fields like art and music and writing?
Yeah, that's another area where AI is making its mark. AI can now generate art and music and even write stories and poems.
Wow.
But I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool,
Okay.
and it's up to humans to use it creatively and ethically.
So it's not about AI replacing artists. It's about AI giving artists new tools.
Exactly.
Now, one of the big concerns people have about AI is its impact on the job market. Are we all going to be out of work?
Well, like we talked about earlier, AI will definitely automate some jobs,
Okay.
but it will also create new jobs in areas like AI development, machine learning, and data science.
Okay.
So the key will be to adapt to these changes and acquire new skills.
So education is going to be really important.
Absolutely. Yeah, education and lifelong learning will be essential for thriving in an AI-driven world.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of really interesting things today. It seems like AI has the potential to really change the world in some amazing ways.
It does, and it's important that we approach AI development and implementation thoughtfully and responsibly.
Yeah.
We need to consider the ethical implications of AI and ensure that it's used for good.
So it's not just about the technology, it's about how we use it.
Exactly.
So for our listeners out there, keep an eye on how AI is developing because it's going to have a huge impact on all of our lives.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most exciting and important areas of technological development today.
Absolutely. And we need to make sure that we use it wisely.
Exactly.
So what do you think the role of governments and policymakers should be in shaping the future of AI?
Well, that's a really important question. And I think governments and policymakers have a crucial role to play in ensuring that AI is developed and used ethically and responsibly. They need to create regulations and guidelines that protect people's rights and privacy.
Okay.
And they need to invest in education and training to help people adapt to the changing job market.
Okay, so it's not just about letting companies do whatever they want. It's about making sure that
Right.
we have some rules in place.
Yeah. And that we're prepared for the changes that AI will bring.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today. This has been a really fascinating conversation.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure.
I think we've just scratched the surface of this topic,
Mm-hmm.
but hopefully it's given our listeners a lot to think about.
Absolutely.
And for you, the listener, what are your thoughts on the future of AI? Leave a comment below and let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.